to my channel, guys. My name is James. Today we're going to be making a very easy and tasty dish. It's a very Spanish dish as well. We're going to be making Gambas Al Ajillo or Gambas Pil Pil. This is something that you will see literally just about everywhere you go in Spain, at every tapas bar and restaurant, and it's very simple and easy to make. And today I'll show you a very easy and simple recipe such as this, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So before we get going, be sure to like the video down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and now we'll start with the recipe. So since this recipe is so easy, if you already have the shrimp pre-peeled, then it will literally take you less than 5 minutes to make if you have everything already finished. I mean, it's basically just peeling the shrimp, peeling the garlic and cutting it, a little bit of parsley as well, and frying it. That's it. Now, if you're going to peel the shrimp, I'll show you a quick technique on doing this. It's very quick and easy. First, we want to do everything in the sink. You have a little container for all the stuff that you're going to not use, and then you have a container for the shrimp that you are going to use. But doing it in the sink is very clean, it's very simple, and it just keeps the kitchen clean. So for the shrimp that you're going to be using, whatever size that you're going to use, is a good idea to clean them as thoroughly as possible. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to remove the head first, then I'm going to take off the little legs, which is easier, then to remove the shell. Peel down the back of the shrimp and then just remove the tail. It doesn't have to be intact unless you want to spend time, because there is a little bit of meat in the very bottom of the tail. Now, the other thing with the shrimp is there's two ways to clean the debris or the the stuff that you don't want to eat out of the back. Either one, you can use a paring knife and cut from the top down and just remove it, but then the back end of the shrimp is going to be like butterflied after you cook it, so if it doesn't matter, you can do this. Or you can take a toothpick or a needle of some sort, and you're just going to dig into a portion of the meat, more along the bottom of the tail, and you can remove the entire thing without having to butterfly the back end of the shrimp. Now, for this recipe, for about 500 grams, I'm only going to use about 3 cloves of garlic. You want to crush the garlic, or not too hard, because you want the garlic intact. The smaller the garlic is, the faster it's going to cook, and the better chance that it's going to burn, because we're going to cook with the oil being very hot. So what you want to do is you want to gently crush the garlic, not too much, not to where it's going to fall apart, and slice it. And you want them in nice equal size slices, again, because when we fry this, the garlic's going to cook, and if it overcooks, it's going to have a bad flavor to it, and it'll be burnt. After you have the garlic peeled, we're going to work on the parsley, or you can also use chives as well if you want. Just slice it very thin, set that aside, and literally, as you can tell from the ingredients, everything's ready. Our shrimp, our garlic and parsley, as well as a little bit of pimenton. Now, pimenton is paprika, and typically you have a choice of either using pimenton picante, which is hot or spicy, and then dulce, which is a sweet one. Typically in the restaurants they use pimenton picante because this is the dish, and then you also put at least one little piece of either cayenne pepper or another little chili in it. And again, we're going to be using olive oil because this is Spain. Oil is a very integral part of the cuisine here, and along with jamon and a few other things, is very Mediterranean. So pick a good olive oil, take the pan, put it on the heat, get the pan hot. Now, once the pan comes up to temperature, add the oil in, a decent amount of oil, 5 or 6 tablespoons of oil, depending on the size of your pan. You want a little bit of depth to it. Get the oil hot, and once the oil comes up to temp, you're going to add the garlic in, and you're going to add the chili in. You can take a little bit of the pimenton, as well as a bit of salt, and season the shrimp before you put it in the pan. And one more thing I forgot to mention is, it's important that after you clean the shrimp that you take either a little piece of paper towel or something, but you dry the shrimp off. With cooking with so much oil and it being hot, when you add the shrimp to the pan, if there's a lot of water, it's going to be spitting all over the place and you can hurt yourself. So Safety first, dry the shrimp off. That way when we add the shrimp, you're not gonna burn yourself. Add the shrimp in and saute the shrimp. Now, after about 10 to 20 seconds, you'll start seeing that the shrimp is starting to curl. Now, the trick with cooking shrimp, you do not want to overcook the shrimp. It's very important, and it's a very, very small margin of error between it being perfectly done and overcooked. If the top of the head of the tail and the bottom piece of the tail touch, is overcooked. If you have just a little bit of a gap, just a little bit, then that's perfectly done. So once they start to curl, flip them over and finish them until they're about as the point that you see in the video, more or less the same. And then put them in the terracotta bowl, a little bit of parsley on top, maybe toast a little bit of bread with this as well, and that's it. If you're worried about using so much oil, don't worry about it, because the oil, along with the garlic, the chilies, and the parsley, is going to create a sauce after the shrimp start to cool and release more of the juices after you cook them. So it's typical that you eat it with maybe a little bit of bread to soak up the sauce, because this is a sauce that you're using or cooking with the Gambas Al Ajillo. So guys, for more easy and quick recipes, be sure to like the video down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel as always, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to write to me as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again very soon.